Alrighty, so welcome back for part 2, aka Act 2 for our playthrough walkthrough beginner's guide. So starting right off, one thing that I did, I identified these gloves. They happen to have an extra green socket, so I can put this dash over here. I can keep in my vitality, and now that precision that I had in my bow, I'm going to take it out, I'm going to put it in my gloves, and I'm going to swap these gloves. So now I have precision activated, and that's also going to cost us extra mana. I have these two rings over here. Let's identify them both and see which one's better. Forward to all resistances, or I can get some more mana and life. I'll take the mana life, because precision is also going to reserve mana. But precision, we want to upgrade and we want to kind of keep up if we can the whole time. So I'm going to... Sometimes you may have to reactivate your skills, like your ones that reserve mana. And that is because you maybe swapped where the gem location was. But I also just checked out the prices of a bunch of the items that we want to get for our build. They're all super cheap. And in fact, I'm really excited because Asinus Mark, which is a helmet that lets us auto-cast spells, is incredibly cheap. Incredibly cheap. And it's usually kind of expensive.
I'm not up to that just yet.
And it's probably because there's something better in slot right now. In fact, we might not even need to get the item. But the Vol Lightning Arrow is actually very cheap. It's 1 Orb of Alchemy. And so we'll be able to get one really soon. I'll actually, for the sake of the playthrough, to make it fair, I will basically delete 1 Orb of Alchemy. I'll just keep it in the stash. I will always keep it there as a reminder that that was the price that we paid. Well, my homie just gave me this one from the stream. But it's not like anything that's super good. There are items where, like, if I was to get like a Tabula Rasa right now at the very beginning stages of the game, it would be unfair, right? But like a 1 alch thing is not going to be that big of a deal, and I will, I'm going to level it up because it's the same as Lightning Arrow in terms of like leveling it up. It does the exact same thing. In fact, it's just, right now I'm using Lightning Arrow. I'm not using the Vol one. Well, I have the Vol one equipped, but I'm not using the skill, if that makes any sense. Until we get an Orb of Alchemy. And then we'll go to actually use it, if that makes any sense. So this way the playthrough is completely fair, but at least I got to show you guys what you guys will be able to get as well. So what we're doing is we go to the right of the town. We exit to the right, and the reason why we exit to the right is because there's actually 2 different exits, and we want to go to the right first. I feel like it's just a little bit faster. Just keep an alch when I get it. Okay, that works. That works indeed. But the first thing I'm going to get with my Orb of Alchemy, and I recommend you guys don't get the Vol Lightning Arrow. Get Roth's Reach. It's going to make this game so much faster. And this way we skip out on... We can skip out on the League mechanic completely. Alright, so we're going to throw a bunch of turrets. Go mark the... we want to mark this one. So it takes more damage, and boom, look at it. It's just instantly melted. And the reason why we do this quest, though, however, is optional. It is not a mandatory quest. I'm going to accept the quest's reward in a moment here. The reason why I recommend you guys to do the Great White Beast, because there's tons of quests that are optional, but I do all the ones that are, of course, going to give you a skill point, which are amazing. But on top of that, I'm going to do all of the quests that I personally think are worth doing. Like the medicine quest for the medicine chest that we got in the first act. That one is highly recommended because you get a quicksilver flask. This is another quest where you get a quicksilver flask, and you want to be able to move as quickly as possible because more than half the time that you're doing the campaign, it's just running around. And this really helps out with the speed of things. Alright, so now we're going to get the waypoint, but we're going to go back into town. I don't think did I pick up anything? I guess we can sell that. We got this we can also sell. This one actually gives us extra intelligence. Oh, I want to select this as a reward because I want to go as fast as possible. And getting Quicksilver Flask drop this early on, just not happening. Absolutely not happening. It's unidentified, so let's identify it. I want to equip these boots, but I still don't have room for it. And sometimes you literally just keep something in here and you're waiting. So the next big thing we're gonna get is either Precise Technique or we can get Primeval Force. But I want to grab these movement speed nodes first because I love movement speed. It makes things so much better. So what we're looking for is once we're at the crossroads, which we just got the waypoint for, we want to look for a bandit. Oh, there's a topaz ring. There's extra lightning res. There is going to be a boss later that does lightning damage, but I mean, right now we have an iron ring. We have no essence. Oh, again, pick up anything that's red, blue, and green linked, because we will use that later. We're gonna get the. Okay, so we can get that waypoint also. Later. I kind of see the area right now, but broken bridge. So we want to go from the crossroads to the broken bridge, and I want to say usually it's on the right side. So hug the right side of the area here. Keep in mind, all these maps, they're random. It could be completely different for you, but most of the time it's going to be over here. Ooh. Essence. Could be useful. We'll use the essence as well. We got a grand life flask, so nice upgrade on that. So we'll go. Wait, this one we have to identify. What we're looking for, okay, immune to curses is great, but what we really want to try to get is immunity to, or immunity to corrupted blood and removes bleed. Those are the two things that can actually be pretty nasty to deal with. Now, with this one, you'll see that, like, on a ring, it doesn't really give us that great stats. It's just Ender Shield, but it still makes it a yellow item, which could actually be pretty dang good. Right now, if I wanted the extra mana regen, this one does give us it. If I got one of these before, I probably wouldn't need to put the stat points in here, although I did need the strength. You can get an amulet that gives you plus, like, 32 stats. But I want to get as much movement speed as possible. So we're going to get ourselves this extra movement speed. Clarity, if you want, you could level it up to like another level. It'll absorb more mana, like in terms of its cost, but it will be worth it. For sure. Until we get Alira and we get some like Leech. I like to have Clarity. But later we won't have to worry about mana at all. It'll literally be nothing. Like mana is not going to cost anything. So now we're coming to our bandit. If we want to, we can help him or we can kill him. I'm going to kill Kraityn. There's 3 bandits. You get to side with one or you can kill them all. So if you kill them all, what you get is 2 skill points. But if you help Alira, which is the one we are going to be helping, we get ourselves extra mana regen. And I really advise you guys to always go for Alira, almost for every single class, because it gives you flat 5 mana per second. And it gives you a bunch of resistances. It's 15 to all res, which earlier on, 15 to all res is amazing. Now that we've completed this, I'm pretty sure I granted myself the waypoint, but we can go back to the crossroads. Although what I like to do first is I like to help Alira ASAP. The reason why is because you get that mana regen. It's going to be able to be, utilized as we continue our progression here. So we're going to go now sell this, just so it's out of the way. And if I want to, I can make this a yellow item. What does this give? This gives us strength, some extra lightning resist, extra maximum life. Hey, that's really good. It's better than 1 to 4 flat fizz damage. Both of these rings are pretty bad, so both of these are replaceable. If we have anything better, I'm just going to go sell these because I don't really need these at this moment. Not really doing anything for us. Remember, you can take 3 of the same flasks. There's another like vendor recipe since we were asking about that earlier. The vendor recipes, I mean, most of the stuff is like so cheap earlier on that it won't really matter too much. So this is Einhar. You can talk to him. He's going to basically help us. He's a little companion guy for a little bit until we get our like animated guardian. But most people, oh, you say you like to kill all the bandits? Yeah, you can do kill all the bandits too. It's not like a bad thing. It's just earlier on, I think genuinely Alira is just arguably the best for leveling, and especially for beginners. That 15 all res, it's so hard to trade 15 all res. Also, if you want to get the Vol Lightning Strike, you could enter these areas. It's random if you're going to get it though. I would suggest just buy it. It's literally 1 orb of alchemy, which is like nothing. At this moment, we got 4 out of 20. We need 20 alchemy shards, and we can get our alchemy shards by selling items to the vendor. Or if we get any uniques, we can get like alchemy shards as well. Or you can just get literally an orb of alchemy to drop. It's not that big of a deal. Roth's Reach is the first thing that we want to prioritize. as it's going to give us the most value. It's going to be like, it's pretty much one of the best bows in the entire game. We could even use it like towards the end game. It's that good. This bow is insane what it does. It gives you up to 80% extra increased elemental damage. It gives you chain +2, and it's got good like flat physical damage on it as well. Like it's just so good. If you wanted to complete the quest for Einhar, you can do it, but it doesn't really matter. It's not required. I'm just gonna keep on going. From here, we want to go to the left, usually up. We're about to get some more movement speed. I'm going to slam this point into the extra movement speed, so we get 6% extra movement speed. We also get what's called spell suppression. So I haven't gone over what spell suppression does. So what spell suppression does is it gives you, if you have 100% chance for spell suppression, it reduces spell damage you take by 50%. Oh, you know what? There's the other Crucible mechanic. Okay, let's finish off this item, because remember I was talking about how this was so difficult before, right? I think like the PoE music just like completely stopped. Oh no, okay, music's changing because it's the Crucible. All right, so we're gonna upgrade this bow. Let's go up that much. So I guess if you go all the way, which is what I wanted to do, it makes it too hard. Okay, so the other bow got the XP, and then we're gonna finish it off the next time. I'm wondering what it multiplies the like difficulty by. My guess maybe if you wanted to go up like half each time, it's okay. But I feel like it doesn't immediately stop when you let go. So once we're at the riverways, we want to go to the wetlands. The wetlands will have oak, and we're going to kill oak. Ideally, though, do we get the waypoint? Okay, make sure you get the Riverways waypoint, though. We will have to come back. Also, if we want to get the waypoint for this area here, the wetlands, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, I haven't been using the ball lightning strike. Or lightning arrow. It does recharge, though, when you go to different zones. So there's oak. We're going to go kill him. And before you fight any of these bandits, you can start setting up your turrets first. So as soon as we're going to kill Oak. But this is what you get if you help Oak. But Alira is the best. But later, if you want to change it, you can. It is kind of expensive to change it earlier on. Because it's like 20 orbs of regret. But later, it's really not that big of a deal. We forgot to put that sniper's mark on. That actually helps out with damage a lot. Now we can grab his amulet.
Do some good for once in your sorry life, bandit. Feed the worms.
Okay. We also get added lightning damage. And okay, we got the waypoint, but you'll see that there's a thing and it says, oh no, we can't go through here. Can't go through yet. Like so now we're going to go back to the riverways and continue to the left. Hopefully this will go through. If not, we'll go to the... Okay. Bottom. Get to the next area. This one we don't need this. We can get extra resistances too. This is really great. This gives us 8 to all of the elemental resistances and 24% elemental damage, which is great. So what we're looking for is the Western Forest from the riverways. Nice, we got the waypoint real early on. That's fantastic. And this time, though, we're not going to kill this bandit. We're going to side with Alira. But if you want to kill all of them, that'd be my guess. But that 15 all res and 5 mana regen is too good for me to say no to. Because this way, we can basically drop on a mana flask once we get the extra mana leech. Because like I said, I don't like magic. Oh my gosh, that thing was a loot pinata. What do we get off of this? Maybe the mask too? And all of our stuff leveled up. It's fantastic. So let's see if this was worth. What does this give us? This gives us nothing. It's just literally 9 strength, which I mean, it kind of helps out. Let's see if this amulet's any good. Regen life, 3 to all, 39. Oh no, 19% mana regen. It's 2 life per second. It's like so low. It doesn't really matter. Is this like a white item? See, the white item sometimes is more valuable because I can modify it. And if you're bleeding and you want to take less damage, just stop moving. You'll take a lot less, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal because we have that vitality. So with Alira, we're actually going to do something different with her. We're going to help her. So this is what she grants us. It's 20 crit strike multiply, which means crit damage. But yeah, 15 to all resist. That and the mana regen is what we want. So now that we have this apex, we're going to go ahead and do it now. You can always check the quests if you want to. There is another quest here, which will give us the access back to Act 1 from a checkpoint here. So from the Western Forest, we want to do this because it's going to be worth it. As it's going to have a reward. That's a skill point. So from the Western Forest, just keep on following this path. You'll see the black guards, and you want to kill all the black guards. There's actually one elite that comes by. Okay. And that drops the seal. Wherever this one. Okay, there it is. Captain Arteri. They drop this thing, and you put it in right here. Now, this is one of those weird things where, like, if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't have, like, caught this. So in order to complete this quest, it's an Act 2 quest. You actually go back to Act 1 to complete it. What we're looking also for over here is the Weaver's Nest. And how the Path of Exile map system works is if you are going to a different area for too long, this area will reset and it'll have basically another layout, or you'll have to re-kill everything. It'll spawn a bunch of new monsters. You can manually create a new area by clicking on a waypoint and holding control. Here's the other Crucible. Let's go finish off this item. Wait, which was the one that's on or off? Oh, yeah, it's this one. Okay. This one has what? Ice shot. Okay. So we'll finish this one off. Now, can I go past it? I actually don't know about this. Can I go past? Can it go beyond? I don't know. Let's see how hard this is. Like doable. I just think for the first one, it was still crazy hard. Okay, our weapon is ready to be leveled up. Let's see what the special power is then. So it doesn't even require you to kill all of them. It's like maybe you kill 90%, just in case one of the monsters like glitches. But look at this. This monster is insanely strong. What the heck is this? Oh, it leeches life. Look at this. The Arch Nemesis all over again. Okay, so this is 9 to 14 fire damage. Oh, but there's a downside. This is actually really good. The Frenzy Charge on kill. But it's not bad. For sure. We can definitely use that eventually.
I'm not up to that just yet.
What's our current bow? Just a 2? Okay. But I need to use another essence. So once we get another essence, we slam it on to the other bow, and then we'll have a 3 linked right there. But the thing is that I'm going to get Wrath's Reach literally next, and Wrath's Reach gives me 80% elemental damage. So it's kind of like a no-brainer competition. All right, so we finally found out where the Weaver Chamber was. So it's over here. Again, it's not always going to be top to the left, but it'll usually be in one of the corners. So there is a boss that we're going to kill over here. Spider boss. The Weaver's Nest. We got there pretty fast. So we need to get the spike. Make sure we put the sniper's mark on the correct target. That bow is way better for damage. Again, it shouldn't matter. I need to stop looking at bows because we're going to get Wrath's Reach. We just need 1 Orb of Alchemy and we got it. And it legitimately will be one of the best bows in the entire game. Up until like maps. it's so godly. So to explain why, it gives you a good amount of like just damage on it, but on top of it, it has this thing called chain, and there's very, very, very few items that grant you chain in Path of Exile. What chain does is when my arrow hits one target, it's going to chain to the next target. Every extra chain means that it's bouncing back to another target, which is phenomenal. Okay, so now that we got this, we can talk to Silk. So instead of wasting a town portal, I'm just going to go to character screen, and then I'm going to reload in. And now we have the spike. Make sure you pick that up. Put this over here. I like to put my portal and my scroll right here because it's just as soon as I open up my inventory, it's just right here. We have move speed on this. Ooh, we have 10% move speed. But remember, it doesn't have the correct link. This is 10% move speed. This is 10% move speed. I'm still going to keep these boots because I want movement speed, but I just don't want... let me get rid of the other one. So talk to Silk, and he'll give us some reward. We can get vicious projectiles. Elemental damage with attacks is what we want, so we're going to grab this. Now, even though I don't have, like, the correct colors, like, I would like to have a red somewhere, I just don't have it right now. I'm going to put it in this just so we can start leveling it up.
Hello.
I greet you.
And we're going to get rid of some of these other items that I picked up to maybe sell. Let's see. Let's give us... what does this do? Immunity to poison, but you get instant recovery. Instant recovery is more valuable than having big amount of life recovery. The reason why is because sometimes you're like draining and you want to just go back to like full HP immediately. So there are special modifiers on flask which you can use these currencies like I did before with the orbital transmutation on the quicksilver flask. And that will help out a little bit. So now that we've done that, remember how we got that little like key and we put it in? I told you guys we killed the blackguard. Now we're gonna go back to Act 1. This is not optional, by the way. This is like, you gotta do this. This is why Path of Exile is considered like a hard game. Some of the stuff you just gotta know. You talk to Bestel. Bestel gives you a book and you grant yourself a skill point. And then we could talk to Tarkleigh. I think we got another one from like Dwell in the Deep, but yeah. We got the extra 2 passive skill points. I think one of them was because we killed the Dwell in the Deep and I never like accepted the bonus from it, but we got it now, so we're good. Next up, I'm going to get this extra elemental resistances, and now I'm going to get myself some extra dexterity, and we're going to go... Now, we have kind of 2 options here. I want to get Roth's Reach first before I decide, and we have a little bit of time. We have like another level here. Actually, we're about to level up really soon. So now you can always check your quests over here in terms of what you need to do. Some are going to be required. So this one wants us to investigate the blackguards. There's also Root of the Problem, which is basically the path. We actually have to do this one. Sometimes it's kind of hard to decide, like, you know, where's the main quest, but it's okay. The next one's going to be Intruders in Black. In Act 2, there's a lot of variations of, like, which order you want to do things in, but I always try to prioritize doing Alira first. You can do these kind of out of order if you want to. Like, you can kill Oak first, you can kill Kraityn. I feel like this is one of the faster ways to do it. So there are 2 exits to the Felshire Ruins. Actually, there's technically 3, but there's 2 exits now that we can access. So we want to go actually down from the waypoint here. And the reason why is because there's called a Trial of Ascendancy. So this is against the superclass. We did one in Act 1, and there's another one over here. So we're going to go to the Felshire Ruins from the Crossroads. And what we're looking for is an area called the Crypt Level 1. And usually you can kind of just go down. You'll see this little gate. You go inside of the area, and it will be the area that has the Trial of Ascendancy. And then we'll go to the other area. So this should be like another little castle looking thing. Okay, here we go. Just gotta find where the entrance is at. It's usually in the middle. There's kind of a rock path. Let's go there. And then somewhere, it should be somewhere around here. It's not here, is it? Do you need to do the blackguards first? It looks like there's one right there. Oh, wait, is there another? Oh, hold on, let's see. Oh, it's right here. There we go. Almost looked like... It looked very similar. I was like, okay, did they change this quest or something? But no. I think it's just around the corner over here. So now from Felshire Ruins, we go in. The Crypt Level 1. Here we go. And it should be in the Crypt Level 1. So there's a Trial of Ascendancy, tells you about it. Okay. So now we have this other skill point. We're going to put one into here. Now, we have kind of some options. Either way, I think... Let's see, what is our accuracy right now? So we got to look at our accuracy. Our accuracy is 760. Okay, it's good enough. We're fine. And the reason why I wanted to look at the accuracy, our accuracy, as long as it's above our HP, we actually have 40% more damage. Now, in Path of Exile, more damage and increased damage are not the same. Or if the target takes increased damage, it's not the same as increased damage. There's a lot of wording in Path of Exile that you just gotta have someone tell you. Shield. Alright, there's the mechanic. If I wanted to get that extra frenzy charge, I could do it, but I promise you Roth's Reach is way better. And that's what we're gonna try to get. We're gonna get Roth's Reach as soon as possible. Because some of these bow upgrades aren't actually that bad at all. But Roth's Reach with the chain, and we're gonna get an additional arrow very soon as well. So it should be level 1. We're going to look for level 1. We don't need to go level 2. Here we go. You can see some of the little green things. It looks like there's a skull with like little lines coming out of the eyes. That's what we want to look for. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. If you click on this, there's just little like birds. Oh, cool! We got a chaos orb. So one chaos orb will grant us a few orbs of alchemy, but it's on the other side of the wall, so we have to walk around. But that'll be very nice. Now we gotta go around. Some of these, they do decent damage, so don't stand in the traps. Like the other ones, there were spikes. I like this though. It's kind of testing your skills as a gamer.
I'm not up to that.
To like dodge, and not stand in giant AOE or mechanics. But this one's pretty easy as well.
Shine boldly,
Go.
so that all may
So we need to do a few of these, and then we're going to be able to ascend, which is one of the coolest thing in Path of Exile.
Corrupted creature.
Okay, so now that we've done this, I'm just going to go and go to character selection. Oh, wait, did I get the... Wait, hold on. Did I get that chaos? Okay, I got the chaos orb. So what I'm going to do with this, and I'm going to introduce you guys to trading. So for the very first time that you go to the Path of Exile trade website, it will ask you, oh wait, is that trading is down right now. Sometimes day one, like I mentioned before, when we were getting those insane frame drops, it could be the server. The trade website is down. The first week, yeah, that's Path of Exile. It's nothing new. The trade websites just break. They're broken. So there's no biggie. We're gonna go continue on. Now this chaos orb, what it does is it randomizes a rare item and it re-rolls all of those things. So the physical, fire damage, cold damage, all that just re-rolls. What does it roll to? Well, it's kind of random. Unless you really know what you're doing and you're doing certain things, yeah, it's gonna be basically random. But instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to trade it for, let's say, 2 to 3 orbs of alchemy, and I'm going to get those orbs of alchemy. I'm going to buy Roth's Reach and a bunch of different things. So yeah, we got lots of stuff to do, and pretty much once we get this armor, I'm gonna look for like a 4 sawblade one. I might buy a little bit more expensive one. Oh, there's another chaos orb. Wow, that was, woo, that's pretty lucky. At this point though, like one chaos orb it's not uncommon to finish one act and get about a chaos orb or 2 per act. And if I get like a divine orb, I'm not gonna spend like 100 chaos orbs and make it unrealistic. Like I said, I haven't even used Vol Lightning Arrow, as you guys see. Well, other than I showed you guys what it looks like. But now at this point, with 2 chaos orbs, yeah, this thing, I have all of the prices on like another screen that I like had up. And once we get to the chance, we will. Now, so once we go to Chamber of Sins, we've got to go to Chamber of Sins level 2. And there's another Trial of Ascendancy in this area as well. I got all my notes over here. Okay. So remember, we still have the spike that was obtained via killing the spider. Now, if you want to do the Crucible League mechanic, feel free to do so. We're not going to mess around with it till mostly towards the later stages of the game. And the reason why I say later stages of the game is because right now getting, you know, small attack speed or something is not gonna. Roth's Reach is just, it's so far beyond like getting extra 5 to 10 cold damage. That getting chain is incredibly powerful. Now there are things like additional arrows that would help out a bit. There's also a modifier because I checked out the leaks. There's another modifier. Oh, by the way, Chamber of Sins level 2 Trial of Ascendancy must do it. And mandatory. And maybe we can even get like Immortal Flesh to make things really easy as well. So some of these, they're pranks. You can see like I literally can't exit this area unless I open up that thing.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Alright, so now we hit the switch. And oh, it's another prank. So it's basically teaching you that not every switch, because Path of Exile is a pretty good teacher in terms of a game. Oh, linking Frenzy to Mana Forged Arrow. That's a genius idea. Thank you, Shiki. Right now we're doing Ice Shot. But yeah, Mana Forged Arrow is amazing. I love that new skill. It's top tier for sure. Okay. Got that. Bam, we got all the trials done for this area. Alright, so another skill point. So we have two options. We can get the extra elemental damage, or we can opt to get a 40% more attack damage if accuracy is higher than maximum life, but we never deal crits. It is 1000% worth it. You want to know what our crit strike chance is with our lightning arrow? I'll tell you. It is 8.5%, and the crit multi is 180. So it's 8% chance to deal 8% chance to deal like 80% more damage. But I can get 100% chance to deal 40% more damage. Now, I'll promise you the 40% more damage is way worth it. And I'm also not going to get anything to do with crit right now. We will later go for crit. It's kind of optional. If you don't want to go for crit, you don't have to. Crit, the reason why I always do it this way is because in the very beginning, anything with crit is always going to be really expensive, because in Path of Exile, crit is like the best thing in the game. But we can get items that don't have crit for really cheap, and also get the lower crit items later, and they become a lot better because, you know, price-wise, and on top of that, people look for more and more perfect gear as the game progresses. So you can buy basically older hand-me-downs from other people, and it's going to be more advantageous for you. So now that we have this gem over here, it wants us to investigate the Chamber of Sense. Oh, we can talk to Helena over here. So we get to meet her in town, and there's no waypoint right here, and we're going to go back to the forest encampment. But I can save myself a portal scroll by going back. And this act is actually pretty short, so we should be able to show off the trade system. Hopefully I can show off the trade. Is it working? Sometimes, like I said, the trade website, it's just really slow. It looks like it's like the trade website's broke. So we have another reward. Now this is our first Herald. We want to get Herald of Ice. The reason why is because Herald of Ice, if we kill him, it shatters and explodes, and it does more damage. There's also Herald of Thunder, which gives you more lightning damage. However, the problem is that to get more lightning damage, we need int. Right now, cold is kind of what we're going for, even though we're doing lightning arrow, which is lightning damage. We actually want Herald of Ice because of the way Herald of Ice works. Also, I'm kind of out of gem sockets here, so you can see sometimes you're really pushed for sockets. I'm going to drop Shrapnel Ballista right now because Herald of Ice is just going to give us way more stats. I'm also going to drop our Clarity Gem because I don't need that. I still can't run this. Let's see. What can I throw in here? Oh, what I wanted to do. Oh, the trade website looks like it's finally loaded. Okay, so I have a tab that has like a bunch of other tabs in it, so I can show you guys all the prices, and we will start buying stuff. Now, if you didn't get a Chaos Orb, or if you don't have any Orbs of Alchemy, don't worry. Just keep this in the back of your head, or you can fast forward. You can pass this part and be like, okay, I want to go back to this part later. That's totally fine. Let's see if this is any good. What does this have? It has some life. I just want this honestly for the sockets. Because ideally, I want to get my Roth's Reach right now. I'm going to get rid of all of these items. And feel free to check out if she has any items. This is Yina. If there's any items that you want to actually get. Now, there is another item that we can get called Steel Skin that I'm going to go purchase. Skitterbot is actually an okay thing to get as well, but it does reserve a lot of mana. Power Charge on crit is another like cool thing that we could run later in the game, because we're going to actually spec out a crit right now, so it's not going to be advantageous for us. But you can see all the different like gems if you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to briefly go into trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Path of Exile trade website. Oh gosh, is it still broken? It was just working. Okay. Let's see if it'll load. Okay. Is it loaded? Okay. So let me make sure it shows up correctly on the screen. Now, for the very first time that you open up Path of Exile Trade, it's going to ask you to connect your account. Let me see if I can open up another one in another window. So what I'm looking for is an item called Roth's Reach. Okay, so I type it in and I hit search. Oh, okay, well. Or it'll just tell me that it errored out because, again, the trade website, the first week, it's always having issues. It's always going down because there's so many people that use it. It just happens, okay? I'm just going to keep on refreshing it until it works, hopefully. It's searching right now, okay. Well, let us do his thing, okay. So, while that's loading in, we're going to continue on our quest. Yeah. Oh, you know what we could get? Do we have red? No, we don't have an open red. We have vitality. Oh, we could drop vitality if we want to. Oh, it's showing some results. If I get this, though, it'll make things so much faster, so it's super worth it, even if it takes like a minute here. But we still need to do a couple more things before we do the boss, so I'll let it load, and we'll kind of just do the trade in between. So now what we're going to do is we're going to teleport back to the wetlands, and we are going to go to the area. Remember how the area was blocked off? Now we click it, and it uses the gem and the spike, and now the quest is completed. Oh, whoops. Oh, let's go in here. And now I'm going to activate our Herald of Ice. I like to have all my buffs on a completely separate bar so I don't accidentally touch them. I dropped the Shrapnel Ballista, but if I had room, I wouldn't mind just running it because it's just free extra target that people can shoot. So yeah, the Herald of Ice, just extra elemental damage. It's nice because that's what we're scaling. Elemental damage. So see if the trade website is it back? Because I really want to get this Roth's Reach. Okay, so it says it's showing like items, but obviously that's not true. It's just kind of broken. Well, hello, Robins. How you doing? Oh, what you were saying was really smart, Tricky. The frenzy. We could actually do that as well. So frenzy will grant us frenzy charges, and frenzy charges will give us increased damage. And I believe attack speed, move speed. It's actually very smart. I didn't even think about that. So yeah, once we get to like the next like waypoint here, I will go show you guys. And this is optional to do it if you don't happen to have the gem sockets. Oh, something popped up now. It's still loading. And if we can get a 4-socket, this is what we want to try to get. A 4-socket, 4-linked Roth's Reach. And if I have to pay 1 Chaos Orb, it's fine. It's not going to be like, you know, that insane. But at this point, if you don't have 1 Chaos Orb, it's fine. You'll get 1 eventually. It's not a big deal. And then I'll convert the other one into Orbs of Alchemy. And we'll be good. Hello, from? Still have no movement speed on boots, but it's okay because we got 14% movement speed via the skill tree. Well, something is a lot tougher here. So at this point, I guess I could use Ball Lightning Arrow. If I could use the trade, I would buy it. It's literally 1/4 of a Chaos Orb, basically, or 1/3, depending on. I don't know what the price is in terms of the market right now. Is anyone else using it? By the way, in chat, any other trade websites that are like up? I used to use PoE.trade, but that website's kind of been outdated for a long time. There's tons of different trade websites. It's just the official Path of Exile one is arguably one of the better ones because it's more frequent. And they up-to-date most of the modifiers. But it's nothing new that Path of Exile Day 1 trade broken. Alright, so we want the boots. Let's see if any of these are going to be upgrades. No movement speed, I don't care. Not right colors. Although, what does it give us? This is 9 strength. Ooh, accuracy rating. I just need Herald of Ice somewhere. Okay, I'm going to use 1 chromatic. It's kind of a waste, but I just need like 2 green. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, I need Sniper Smart. Oh, I don't need momentum. This thing is not used at all. Oh, the Path of Exile feels so laggy right now. Yeah, the servers are probably just having a lot of issues. Okay, so now that I've equipped this, we have more accuracy. I need to have more accuracy because I need my accuracy to be over my HP, and I have to reactivate my buffs if I unequip the item that had the Herald or Vitality or Clarity. I need to reactivate it. But if I can get Fox Shade, which is the chest piece that's going to give us more movement speed and insane survivability. It has like 500 evasion rating too, which, I mean, 500 is going to be a lot better than like this armor. And I never explained Energy Shield, but I can explain it right now. So Energy Shield recharges after you don't take damage for a duration. You can actually change the duration, and that will change it. But yeah, we're going to go down here, and we're going to rush this precise technique. I'm going to get as much accuracy as possible. And right now our current accuracy is 1050. It has to be over our HP, which isn't too hard to do. Because you don't really need to scale that much HP if you're playing a Ranger. Because you rely on evade. And evade is, I'd say it's way better than armor early game. Although sometimes if you get unlucky and something hits you twice, yeah, it happens. And now at this point, the trade website still broken? Okay. That's kind of sad. Because I really want to use this Vol Lightning Arrow, but I'm trying to crack that Chaos Orb and turn it into an Orb of Alchemy. So I can give it to my homie for hooking me up with the thing. But there's going to be two of our like super skills. So Lightning Arrow is going to be... Oh, but you can... Maybe... No, we're getting Roth's Reach. I don't need to change that. I'll use this on something else. Maybe I'll see an armor. Or like if I find just boots that are just 4 linked, that'd be excellent. I'm going to go check out the trade website, see if it's like working. Sometimes it'll take a little bit. Like right now it's like actually broken, so... Gotta wait. Hopefully it'll be up before the boss, as ideally before the boss we can get that item. If we don't get the item, it's not the big deal. I'll just, at this point I'm just going to use Vol Lightning Arrow, because again, you could buy it for 1 Orb of Alchemy, which 1 Chaos Orb equals anywhere from 2 to 4 Orbs of Alchemy. And I have 2 and I can't use them right now, and by the time you're watching this on YouTube, more than likely it's going to be like updated. And keep in mind the trading is optional. I mean, our damage is so good, I probably don't even need it for the boss anyways. Yeah. I actually have all of the items tabbed in another window. So I can show you guys all the items that you guys want to look for, even though the trade website is broken right now. But as far as this being rewarding, it's interesting because it doesn't reward you with actual currency, which is usually what people want in Path of Exile. You get 2 charges of the Vol Lightning Arrow too. I like it. This guy's pretty tanky. I don't think we're gonna get over 100 accuracy rating, but some of these monsters, they can have modifiers that like have some sort of regen or vampiric, and it's better to skip on. Like that guy, it wasn't dying too easy, so we skipped on him. Now, this is a very important thing. If you don't have a hideout, okay, because this is a beginner's guide. This is your very first hideout. You go over here. It's the Dread Thicket from the Northern Forest. What you're going to look for is a Fleur de Lis, which is little, I'll show you what it looks like. And you want to clean up the area. And I'm going to do this fully because if it's a beginner's guide, I need to show you guys this. You have to get a hideout. Because if you don't get a hideout, it makes trading a lot less fun. And it gives you a little, like, base. It's your own little hideout. Here it is. And so you see this little blue icon. This is a hideout. So in order to get the hideout, I already have tons of hideouts, but this is how you unlock a hideout. So all it requires you to do is just kill everything in the hideout. Okay, pick up all 2 stone rings, by the way. They're like really nice to have because they give you resistances to 2 different elements, and we use essences on them. And get him down. Okay, grab the wisdom. That's done. Okay. think we killed them all. Okay. So you basically have to kill them. It'll say like hideout unlocked when you finish it, and then you can go talk to Helena in town. But I've got it done, so it's probably not going to tell me. Have I ever made a melee class? Yeah, I actually did a walkthrough as melee. I actually don't recommend melee ever for anyone to play Path of Exile, especially on a beginner. I think melee in general in most action RPGs is just usually going to be worse because there's so much AoE and boss mechanics that if you're playing melee, you just have to sit there and wait. So I've signed out of melee completely for making beginner guides. However, if you want to, with this character, you can play Lightning Strike, no problem. Like, which is a melee skill. I like it. Lightning Strike is really good, but I feel like melee for leveling it's just painful. So like I said, if you find a monster that he's not dying, like you see, I knew it was likely. See, I didn't even need to read the effect of the monster. I knew that it wasn't dying fast. It probably got like life leech or regen in some sort of like capacity. But anyways, so going back to Northern Forest, after you get your hideout, just go up. And we'll eventually get to another area, and hopefully, and by this time... Oh, okay, now the trade is working. Okay, I'm gonna... This is my first time using Portal because I want to go back fast and I don't want to relog. Okay, so you can talk to everyone in town if we want to, but you can see everything's all dark, spooky. We have another skill point. Now I'm putting in Precise Technique. Watch our damage. This is the damage number right here. We have 500, right? Watch how much we increased to. 750. We've almost doubled our damage with that 1 point. That's why I love getting Precise Technique over Crit in the very early stage. Later, we're going to remove this, though, because Crit's going to be better. But, now we're going to go buy at Roth's Reach, but I first have to go ahead and show you guys how to trade. So, starting right off, for the very first time that you go to the Path of Exile trade website, it's going to look like this. So, I don't know if you guys are using Epic Games, Steam, PlayStation, whatever. You got to sign in, okay? After you sign in, you're going to be greeted with this. So, what I want to buy first is I need to get item exchange. So, let me just move my face out of this way so you guys can see everything. So, starting right off, the items I want Orb of Alchemy. What do I have? I've got Chaos Orbs. Or if whatever currency that you have and you want to convert it into whatever, that's what you select. And then you just hit search. And then you can see this one over here we can contact. So I'm going to hit contact and make sure that you have the Crucible League selected. This is important because that's the league that we're playing. So I'm going to go ahead and contact this guy and we're going to hit direct whisper and it's going to whisper him in the game. It's going to whisper him and he's going to invite me to his party. But sometimes there are what's called price fixers and they don't actually intend to sell. And it always sorts it by the best deal first. So let's try the next guy because that one's not working. We're going to go contact. Oh, wait. Oh, that's someone else. Sometimes I have like other friends. We're going to hit direct whisper. Let's go to... Oh, sometimes... Oh, he only has one. So we're going to... Oh, he's not... I got this if you want. Oh, that's not bad. So, while we're waiting for this guy to respond, I'll just whisper to this other guy. I don't know if he's from, like, my old clan or whatever, but... So, yeah, we're doing Ice Shot, Lightning Arrow, and whisper the next guy. I'm just doing this on my other monitor right now, by the way. All I'm doing is I'm hitting... Right here, I'm hitting Contact, and then I hit Direct Whisper. Sometimes, like, the guy that's selling it for 5, he's not actually selling that. He's doing what's called a price fixing. So now we're going to get 4 Orbs of Alchemy for this guy. And now, over here, I'm going to click on Travel to your Hideout. For the very first time, though, that you do it, you'll have to talk to Helena, and you do Select Hideout, and you'll only have one to select from. Okay. Oh, if you ever want to party up with people, you can always hit S and you can join up with people. But most of the time, honestly, it's a lot faster to just do it on your own. This is my hideout. I've got like a custom thing. This isn't actually built in the game. You can build all these for free. But right now we're waiting for this guy to come back into town. You can wait in town and he'll hopefully come back. He's in some area. Sometimes they take a second, and while he's taking his time, what we're going to do is I'm going to get another item. So I'm going to type in Roth's Reach, the bow, and I want to get like a good one, so I might spend 1 Chaos Orb on a good one. So I'm going to hold shift, I'm going to click on it, and that's going to make it so there's only 1 Chaos Orb. I'm going to now control click, and he's going to give me 4 Orbs of Alchemy. Mouse over it to make sure it's the correct item. If it's green in the box, that means I've accepted the trade. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave the party. You can also say like thank you if you want to, but it doesn't really matter. So that's how we trade in Path of Exile. Now we'll go over how to sell items later over on the website. Again, this is all completely for free. This is not like, it's not Like, real money. Don't use your real money on websites and buy them. That's against the terms of service, and it can get your account banned, just as a heads up. So next thing I want is Roth's Reach, right? This is the bow. So I want to go ahead and go for, like, links. So links, if I can get 4 linked, that'd be amazing. 1 Chaos Orb, 4 link. There we go. That's pretty massive. Let's see if we can push our luck and go to 5 link. There's only 8 results anyways. So I'm just going to scroll down and look at every single one of these. Is there any 5 links? So I'm going to go to Show Filters. Links, go to 5. There's no 5 links right now in the game. So we're just going to have to settle on a 4, but it's going to be amazing. Now, in addition to this, I could actually go to Filters and go to Sockets and go to 6 to see if any of them come up. Nope. Okay, can we get a 5? 5 socket. Okay, here we go. We have 1, and it's 1 Chaos Orb. It's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Direct Whisper, and it's going to whisper them. It has 78, and the max roll is 80. That's fantastic. We're going to whisper him and get this Roth's Reach, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, while we're waiting for him, sometimes people, they don't respond. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes I whisper like 10, 20 people. They're all busy doing something, or they're just like, I sold the item. The trade website didn't update. It happens. Don't worry too much about that. So I'm going to wait for him because I actually really want his specifically because it's 5 socket. So while we're waiting for him, I'm going to look up this item called Fox Shade. Is it this or Fox's Fortune? Okay, so this is 1 Orb of Alchemy, and I want as many sockets as possible, so I'm going to go, like, if we're going to get 5 sockets, 4 link, that'd be awesome if I can get that. 1 result, that's 1 chaos. I'm only interested in spending 1 Orb of Alchemy. So I'm only willing to spend 1. Let's go to this and see if there's anyone selling it. No one's selling it for 1. Let's go links and put it to 3. Okay, there's a couple here. Okay, so if I mouse over, it's going to tell me which one is going to give me the highest number of evasion rating is what I want. So it's 66, 1 Orb of Alchemy. I'm going to hit Direct Whisper, and it's going to whisper them in game. So we're going to wait for that person. And we got the 1 Orb of Alchemy ready to go. And we're going to click on... sometimes I won't be able to click on... Like, there's this little blue swirl. And if I don't have that area unlocked, I could either go to my hideout or I can go to their hideout. But they'll usually come to you eventually. Or you can just wait in your hideout. That also is an option. So this guy's name is... What is his name? Bio. Because sometimes there'll be in a... Oh, they're both Bio. So there's Bio Saint. So he's in the bridge encampment. So we can always go to Lionized Watch because everyone will have access to... okay, here, now he's in his hideout. So yeah, the little blue swirl comes up. Now I'm in his little hideout. And he says, my hideout. Okay, so no biggie. We're waiting for him. Give him a second. Then we're going to hit accept. Throw that in. And he's going to give me the item. And we're going to need to be level 25 for it. And we are pretty close. So that'll be excellent for the boss. And this just gives us extra movement speed, which is awesome. So now that we've gotten that, we still didn't get the Roth's Reach. We're going to hit search one more time. We're going to Direct Whisper this guy one more time before I sign out that this guy is not here. And it's okay. It's not a big deal. So now I'm going to go to Filters. I'm going to go to 4 sockets. Well, it doesn't really matter because if I put 4 links, it's fine. Ideally, we can get this one. This one is excellent. But I want to look for the one that has the highest increased elemental damage with attack skills. Well, this one's literally a perfect one. It's 80%. The increased physical damage can be okay, but I'd rather just get the flat, the extra elemental damage is great too. But this one's only 1 chaos, so let's go ahead and whisper this guy for 1 chaos, and let's get this bow. So we can't use this yet, so we'll have to wait. I'm gonna go and clean up my inventory.
How can I hit?
So let's go sell. And sometimes selling in Path of Exile, it takes time, so don't worry too much about it. If it's taking you some time. We can go to Act 1. Usually people either go to Act 1 or you just go to wherever they're located. Okay, there we go. Now we're over here. It's 1 Chaos Orb for this item. And make sure you have the inventory space. Sometimes some items are bigger than others. And this is going to give us a massive DPS increase. Okay, so check this out. And I'm going to give my friend that hooked me up the... Oh, dang. Oh, did you sign off, Shiggy? Anyways, if you want the Orb of Alchemy, because I owe you one for the item, for the Vol lightning arrow. This way, like, you know, we have, you know, paid for it because he just hooked me up with it for the content. So now we're going to throw mana forged arrows somewhere else and ice shot somewhere else. In fact, we actually want to do frenzy. So this is actually going to be a kind of a multi-step process. So let's go to purchase. Gems. Let's see if frenzy's here. Frenzy. I know it's... Okay. So what we're going to do now... Okay. We're going to get frenzy now. And we're going to drop ice shot for now. We can still level it up in like another weapon if we want to. But this bow, actually, we don't need this bow anymore. So I'm just going to sell it to the vendor. So I don't need it. And we're going to equip Roth's Reach. We're going to get an insane amount of extra damage because of the way chain works. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we will do some other things. So starting right off, we're going to equip this in the next level. So this is going to be replaced. The other thing that I want to do is try to, I'm kind of halfway there. So I want to do mana forged arrows. Let's see, how can I put this in? So I want to do mana forged arrows with frenzy. So let's do this. Mirage Archer support, lightning arrow, added cold damage, and then that elemental damage with attacks. There we go. So remember how we were leveling that one up? And now our damage with our lightning arrow, just with this one gem, is 200 more damage. Excellent. And then on top of that, we want to do mana forged arrows, and we want to do frenzy now. So instead of doing ice shot, it's going to do frenzy. And what frenzy does, it grants us a frenzy charge if it actually hits the target, which is going to grant us extra move speed and damage. And now what I want to do is I want to go back into... we could get another gem here. I can get like added lightning, cold, whatever damage and throw it in here. Or just, you know, I'm going to put trap and ballista in here. Let's go actually do that. And so we still have 3 orbs of alchemy, and I do want to spend them right now because we're about to come up to a boss. And keep in mind, this is all optional, but I like getting items earlier on. So I had a bunch of tabs. You can see like a quadrillion tabs open up for a bunch of different items. So Fairgraves is like okay. Just gives us some flat cold damage. Prism Weave, if I can get this for 1 orb of alchemy, I'd like to get that. And I just refresh these all the time. This is an insane deal. Like this used to be like 10 times the price. Let's see if there's a reward for... I don't really need that. Casalius for 1 orb of alchemy would be great. This is not too bad because it gives us strength, dex, and int, and this is great for a lot of stats. Also gives us flat cold damage, extra attack speed, and we get life per hit, so it helps with regen, but it costs 4 orbs of alchemy. Nomic Storm is actually my favorite boots in the game. However, there's a huge downside with it, but I think the downside is not that bad. So we have this item. I don't need Fox's Shade. Oh, this was Vol Lightning Arrow, by the way. It's like 1 to 2 alchemies. There's 1 for 4 now, okay. But keep in mind, this was the item that my homie hooked me up with. You can get it for 1. There was 1 for 2 as well. We already got the Roth's Reach. Sometimes you just got to keep on refreshing. You'll get like better deals as time goes on. I really like Ondars. I think Ondars are phenomenal. There's nothing else that's going to give you 30% attack speed and accuracy. It's just fantastic. And you get like decent amount of lightning damage. So what I want now, and we have 3. Well, technically I have 4, but I'm going to... Oh no, I have 3 orbs of alchemy. And I owe my homie 1 for the Vol Lightning Arrow. So we have 2. So which 2 items do I think will give us the biggest advantage? Well, right now Nomic Storm is going to give us like, what is it? 20% increased movement speed on top of another 20. That's 40% increased movement speed. Now, there's a downside. You do take 15% more damage while in full energy shield. Is it worth it? Oh, yes. Oh, 1,000% yes. It's going to make the game feel way better. These are excellent, but I only want to pay 1. So, the 2 items that we can get, I probably would rather take Ondars. Do I need these for colors? Because sometimes you need a certain item for the colors, and that becomes a problem when you start rotating things. I don't really need the Mana Forged Arrow thing right now. I want the Herald of Ice, though. So I can forego, all of these can be foregoed. But, yeah, let's grab the Nomic Storm. But ideally, what I'm going to try to look for is as many greens as possible. So what I'm going to do is show filters. I'm going to put 1 Orb of Alchemy. Orb of Alchemy. I'll move my face out of the way so it's not blocking. Orb of Alchemy, and then we put 1. And then I want as much greens as possible. So if I can put, like, sockets just... If I could do 4 sockets, that'd be excellent. There might be one. Okay, so 3 sockets then. We just keep on lowering the things, and this is how you, like, you know, buy stuff in Path of Exile. So let's go ahead and direct whisper this person. And if he doesn't respond, we just go buy a different one. Okay, cool. So 1 Orb of Alchemy for these pair of boots. And then we need to get the Ondars. Ondars, 30% increased movement, or 30% increased attack speed is fantastic. And our gloves currently don't really do anything. And the other thing that Ondars grants us is accuracy. It gives us 100 accuracy. And we need to make sure our accuracy is always above our HP. So we have 491 HP, but we have accuracy 700. So again, those numbers are important to take into consideration. So now we're going to be Sonic. We are going to be blazing super fast. Oh, I can still keep the Frenzy setup we have over here. Cool. And Shrapnel Ballista, unfortunately, we got to kind of move around, and we're going to be getting Ondars now. And once again, with Ondars, I would like to get a 4 socket minimum. See if we get anything. Ooh, for 1 Orb of Alchemy. Cool. Ideally, I get... Now, if I mouse over these, it'll tell me the rolls. I want as much lightning damage as possible. Literally a perfectly rolled one. Oh, okay. Hold on. We're going to go to Orb of Alchemy. So I'm going to basically be able to get the best... Oh, there's only 1. It's not bad. It's literally 3 off from perfect. Like, in terms of the max value. And the accuracy rating... Oh, the accuracy on that one's really low. Let's go to 3. I think I would be willing to sacrifice to get way more. And we're going to replace a lot of these things anyways. Getting the extra accuracy is probably going to be more advantageous than really anything. The lightning it's down by 8, but it's... Oh, the other one rolled low as possible. Let's see. This is pretty close. This is really good. And it's 170. The difference is 3 accuracy rating. So sometimes you have to weigh the options on what you want. And decide from there. You know, what's the best for the current situation. 3 accuracy is worth sacrificing for, like, the extra damage, in my opinion. So we just gotta wait, and then look how fast we move now. Nomex is just so great. It's the best movement speed boots in the game for the price. There's another pair of boots called 7 League Step, which gives you 50% movement speed, but they're way more expensive, and yeah, it's just... It's not something you're going to get as like a beginner, you know, earlier on. Okay, so now that we've bought pretty much all the stuff that I need, I still have like my tab of all the other items. But if you want, just as a reference, if you got lucky, you got more items, get Prison Weep. This thing is phenomenal. Tassalio's Sign, phenomenal. This is more damage. All these things basically do the same thing. It's just more damage. Fairgraves is, I mean, Cannot Be Shocked is kind of nice because you sometimes can take a massive amount of shock damage. So we're going to go ahead and equip Ondars and move the gems over. So right now we don't have precision anywhere. I need dash for sure. Sniper's Mark. Can't really get rid of that. Ooh, I don't really like losing dash. I don't want to drop precision. I don't really want to drop that either. So since this is Evasion Energy Shield, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to hope that we get the right color. So what are we looking for? We're looking for 2 green. Okay, cool. There we go. Precision, dash. Done. And all these other items, we're just going to sell and move out of the way because I don't need them anymore.
Yes?
So we're going to... oh, you might want to remove your gems before, too. That's a good thing to do because you don't want to sell your item because it will sell it with the gem inside of it. Can maybe get a better... what's 6 life? These are bad, too. We could definitely use these essences on perhaps these rings. So what does this give us? This gives us some accuracy, strength. Do we need the strength for anything? No. Yet sometimes it's good to remove. Okay, this ring absolutely can be replaced. So these 2 rings, what resistances do I have that are the lowest? I go to defense here in this tab by opening my character panel. Fire and cold. I don't have fire cold. Okay. Because you can look at the color of the ring. So the orange is going to be lightning resist, the red is going to be fire. But I'm going to look at which one has the highest number. So this one's at 16. You can also hold Alt to see the item level. Certain rolls only roll on certain item levels. So this gives me dexterity because it says other item. In the other jewelry, you get physical damage to attacks. I like the physical damage, so I'm going to keep that and I'm going to roll it. And we got 17 strength, 32 life. Okay, cool. That's a nice little upgrade there. And now we can continue on our play session.
Greetings.
So I'm going to go sell this.
Yes?
But yeah, picking up 2 stone rings and throwing on the essences are always worth it. And, oh, do we have room for... Oh, we have room right here. Bam. Perfect. Wow, look at that. Oh, wait, no, we're swapping. I forgot. We're going to be swapping... Well, Clarity I can throw in here. Let's go do that right now. And then Vitality, we might just... Oh, no, I can throw right here. Hey, we're all good. And then I have another 3-link setup right here for my Shrapnel Ballista ready to go. So I can throw Shrapnel, Momentum. Whew. Okay, so sometimes with Path of Exile, there's a lot of, like, you know, you tinkering around with certain things, but we're here to go continue. Oh, I think I used a portal over here, but it's fine. Sometimes, if you're in an area too long, or if you like kind of leave the area, you might have to walk back, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just Fall Ruins right here, so we're not even that far back, right? Oh, no, that's the back. It's going backwards. We don't want to go backwards. All right, I have to reactivate Precision and Clarity. And let's continue. And now you're gonna see that chain in action. So now when I hit one target, it's gonna be bouncing back. Oh, we're kind of low on mana right now. I'm probably gonna drop. I can drop maybe Vitality, maybe Herald of Ice. So let's go continue. And the reason why it's gonna cost more mana is now we have that elemental damage with attacks linked. Ooh, Leather Hood. Maybe this is an upgrade. Could be. And there's that like red, blue, and green linked. Now let's go see what this does. So, oh, this gives us how much? 100 accuracy? Okay. That gives us intelligence, and it might be useful if I wanted to like respec out. Herald of Ice always leveled it up. But now you can see we're doing massive amounts of damage. You can see the arrow kind of chaining around, and it's just, it makes your clear speed way better. And our clear speed is going to go through the roof. And you can see we're just like one-shotted that yellow right there. Have I ever found an Eternal Orb? Eternal Orb. The Imprint? I don't believe those drop anymore. I think only in Ruthless those drop. Like, I'm pretty sure those don't drop anymore. There's certain items that, like, sometimes they get discontinued. Like, they're only for one special thing. Okay, we got another skill point. So now, after getting this, I really want to just solve this whole mana thing, because right now we do enough damage. I'm literally one-shotting it. And that's excellent. So, what I actually really want to get also is getting... Like, I want to go this way and grab specifically this node here, because I can get a massive amount of survivability, which this one is going to be our one of our first masteries we might be taking, which gives us 100% increased evasion rating from equipped body armor. This has it's 437 evasion rating. Now, also, I can show you guys what Armor Scrap does, because I'm going to use this for a while. Armor Scrap, don't worry about them. They're not, like, super rare. If I put this in, you see the evasion rating goes from 4 to 37, 4 to 39. Gives us extra stats. Now, the Whetstones improve the damage of, like, our bow right here. You see the physical damage is 25 to 76. 77. I used all of mine, and we got, like, 1 extra damage. It doesn't really matter. Don't really care too much about like saving your Whetstones. It's only like small amount of damage incremental increases. But now we can equip this and watch how fast we're going to be moving. Woo! We are Sonic now. Oh, we have the extra skill point. So let's go ahead and put in, we can just go for more damage here. I want to solve this mana thing, because mana is annoying to deal with. So I get this mana leech, and then that way I never have to pop a mana potion ever again. This is why I like Alira, and this is why I feel like for beginners, it's always good to just get as much mana as possible. And for boots, there's nothing that's replacing Nomic Storm. And once we get Fargrave's Helm, we get extra set amount of cold damage. And the reason why our mana is going to start like lowering as we level up is because I want to keep my precision up. Like, I could drop my clarity pretty soon. Herald of Ice I kind of want to keep. It gives me some extra damage, but if I have to drop it because it says like we don't have enough mana and it becomes annoying, then we can drop that. Alright, so if you see any of these little hammers, click on them. They're crafting recipes. And we're going to go and go towards the boss. And I can't wait for this lightning arrow. We still have that extra orb alchemy, I believe. Waiting for my homie. Get back on. And maybe he can see it, I don't know. Oh, it's this frenzy. Okay, cool. I like having these extra frenzy charges. So yeah, increased damage, attack, and cast speed for each frenzy charge. I think you can also get movement speed based off of frenzy charges as like a modifier on some boots. But you'll see these little green orbs around us. That's why I put frenzy inside of the mana forged arrow, which I think is a really cool idea. It basically allows you to have a curse on hit for free. You could also do it with like hex touch support with a pair of boots. Fortunately, we got frozen. Be careful when you open up some strong boxes, as some of them will instantly freeze you, and usually the ones that freeze you are the ones that are going to be the annoying ones, and you'll die instantly if you get hit by it sometimes. And if you die, it's no big. Oh, you know what we could also get? We can also get Steel Skin. We can drop Vitality. The reason why I like having Vitality is because as long as we have some sort of regen on our character. Look at our damage already. Our damage is 2,340 now. Like, for level 25, this is pretty solid. But anyways, the chest piece, it just gives us more movement speed, but it also grants us plus 1,000 evasion rating while in full life. So if I go to my defense tabs, we have an 80% chance to just not take any damage when something attacks us. That's pretty good, you know? Pretty good. But you still want to actually get more damage as you progress, because more damage is going to be able to upkeep. Oh, this is actually a pretty nice unique item. Now, it's not really worth too much. But I think it's our first unique dropped item. So this is Ghost Wraith. So it makes so you gain a decent amount of life, extra chaos res, which is fantastic, a massive amount of energy shield, and 50% of maximum life is converted to energy shield. It's really, really, really good for a certain build that uses like this energy weapon that gives you more damage based off of your energy shield. Alright, so next up, what do we get? So we can get more damage over here. The reason why I wanted to path over here is because I want to grab this, and we're going to grab this one over here. And then hopefully with those two nodes, we shouldn't need any more mana. And then we're going to get an additional arrow, so when we fire, it shoots 2 arrows out, which is going to be awesome. Oh, we can throw back on our thing. Our siege ballista. So this is the boss of Act 2, so we'll throw in a bunch of turrets. Now the turrets won't really do that much damage because I don't really have that many things linked to it. Ideally, yeah, I could throw in some extra stuff for a link. But what I mainly want it for is a distraction, because there are certain bosses that will one-shot you in the game if you get hit by their like mechanic. But if it jumps and it one-shots the turret, it doesn't matter. Oh, you're reading an article on the rarest. I think the Mirror Calandra is probably like one of the rarest items in terms of like a currency drop. Wow, that boss just got melted. Absolutely. The ball lightning arrow. We're gonna get ball ice shot as well. Ice shot is cool. I didn't even throw that. Mark, look at this. That was insane. We killed that boss so fast. Okay, so mechanics with the boss. Sorry, I guess I killed that boss too fast. There is these rocks that can fall from the sky, and these rocks that fall from the sky will do massive amount of damage. Oh, that's right. I don't even know why I'm looking at boots. It's just like a waste of time for me to look at basically anything right now that's dropping for the most part. Because, like, right now, these whole Crucible things, like, I can't do it with this. Unfortunately. So if you want to do the mechanic and you don't have a Roth's Reach yet, by all means. But Roth's Reach, it's like a 1 alchemy. I paid 1 chaos because I wanted one that had 4 links. But by all means, don't feel like you have to get the Roth's Reach right now. But ideally, that's the first priority thing that you get. So, we gotta save her. So, once you get to this area, which is the start of Act 3, you will see Clarissa. And so what you do is you kill all the enemies around her. She says, "Thank you for saving me, but please save someone else." I don't know why I'm looking at those two. It's really hard to beat Ondar. It's like 30% attack speed, but you have to be at full life. That's why I like having Vitality up. I want to remove Clarity. Just because it gives you that extra little bit about amount of heal. Like later, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get Life Leech, but Life Leech is super far away. It's over here. And until we get that, yeah, I think keeping Vitality on will be worth it. And we can drop Clarity, because instead of Clarity, what we're going to be running is the Vitality. There's another option. If you happen to have more currency, you can get that extra quiver that I was talking about, which is called this one over here. So Hiyari's Bite is an excellent quiver, and the reason why it's really good is because earlier on it gives you Strength, Dex, Intelligence. Dex is not really that important for our build because we are going to have naturally more or more dexterity because we are playing a ranger, but giving us extra cold damage, attack speed, the life per hit, and on top of that there is the implicit, which gains life per hit with attack. So you basically get about 10 life per hit almost, and it's just really good for leveling. It gives you basically every single stat on this is good, except for like increased area effect is not like bad because you can still get increased area effect with the lightning damage, but with your lightning arrow. But it's not bad to have. Now, what is this thing worth? So we'll briefly go into like some trading here. What do we got? 1 hour 15. Okay. I'm just trying to check the time on these. So is the trade website working? So we can check out what the price of this. So sometimes some items are only worth something in the very beginning and they become cheaper later on. This is worth 1 Chaos Orb. So if I want to trade this for 1 Chaos Orb, let me go ahead and show you guys how we do that. So you have two options here. You can post it on the forums. You can post it in the random trade chat over here. And if I want to link the item, I can click, what is it? Control-Alt-Click is my keybind for it. And I can link the item in the chat. So people can like mouse over and see what the heck the item does. And you would go into the trade category and you would start spamming, hey, want to sell this 1 Chaos Orb, okay? Ours actually rolled in the middle ground. Like, we can maybe sell it. The life could be better, the energy shield could be better, but I'm just gonna go sell it. So if I was to go sell it, I would go into my stash, and then I would go into what's called a premium stash tab. This is something optional. It costs, I think, $1 to change your stash tab to a premium stash tab if you want to, but I'm just going to show you guys kind of how it works. I put the item in here. Don't feel like you have to do this, by the way, right now. So I have to right-click on this, and I make it public. I'm going to call this one sell, okay? And then I'm going to right-click on it, and I'm going to put negotiable price. I'm going to face it away. So I put the item that I want to sell in this. I make sure that this is public, and it says each item individually priced, and I just hit OK. And then I right-click on it, and I go to negotiable price 1 Chaos Orb, and I hit OK. Now the asking price is 1 Chaos Orb, and someone will then whisper me, and then I do the same thing. I just go to the trade and invite them, open up the trade window. So that's how we actually do it. So that's a brief introduction to trading, and if we sell it, in the next part, I'll get a Chaos Orb, and you'll see it, but we'll resume. And this is actually going to be really cool, because in the next part, we are going to actually do the Ascend, which is actually going to require us to do a couple more things, but it will be done very, very soon. But anyways, thanks for tuning in for part 2, Act 2. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on your way out, and I'll see you guys in the next part.